Hello.
All right. Hey there, Couch Potatoes. I'm Dustin.
I'm Corey.
And we are the Couch Play Cousins. And this is the first time we're trying out this whole, whatever you want to call it, this live stream thing. I got my live stream freaking playing volume here. Potatoes. I'm Dustin. Turn that off.
Corey.
There we go. Perfect start. What do you say?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I've not had any experience with this at all, so these are all going to be kind of my initial reactions off of what I'm seeing.
Well, it's going to be both of ours because it's a reaction. So this is from the Indie World that played earlier today. We'd like to have done this sooner, but, we got to work. So screw y'all. But yeah.
Not quite our lives yet.
So Corey, I actually wonder, you might be a little bit better at these indie presentations than I am because you're on Steam all the time.
Indeed.
Yeah. So most of the time I think you'll see these are, Steam ports or whatever, just from the regular indie world. So you might know more of these than I do. I mean, I haven't watched any of this, so who knows? The only thing I'm kind of hoping for is I'm hoping to get a release date for Golf Story 2, because Golf Story 1 is one of the
I heard really good things about that one, actually.
It's amazing. It's one of the most underrated games on the Switch, I feel like. I don't know if it's underrated, if that's even the proper term, but either way, more people should play it. So if you haven't played Golf Story on Switch, you should go play it. And then it would be cool to see if the second Ori gets ported over, but I mean, if not, you can still play it on PC.
Ori's also another one that's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great game. So Will of the Wisps looks fantastic. I actually I have it in my wish list in Steam. I just haven't purchased it yet because I was wondering. And then the only other thing, I doubt they'd announce it here, but I'm still waiting to see when the hell that. Maybe it's already been announced at a certain point that I wasn't aware of, but the Cuphead DLC. So,
I imagine that's probably be something that'll probably come out pretty in the near future. That game's been
I
out
figured
for a
that would be
while now.
probably more of an Xbox event thing, but hey, you never know.
Yeah.
So anyway, all that being said, let's hit the play button and watch this shit.
Alrighty.
So. All right.
Crickets. Running into some technical difficulties,
Yeah.
eh?
Well, always start out smooth.
It's more like dramatic tension. He's got his finger on the button. He's like, I'm holding the dramatic effect. When did this air today?
I think 1 o'clock.
Okay.
This little ninja guy. This kind of looks like, kind of reminds me of Hat in Time or something. Oh, there's a buffer. I mean, not in art style, but it's just almost like the little chibi or double jump around thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Hat and Style meets Hollow Knight or something weird.
Yeah, I like the platforming.
There you go. You ever heard of that one? I haven't.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Indie World. A sneak peek
Entirely.
at some
No one's new to me.
exciting indie games coming to the Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch system. I'm John Vignacchi.
And I'm Sam Robertson.
The graphics on that were fun,
That
though.
was the world premiere
Yeah.
of Blue Fire from Graffiti Games in Argentina.
You know, it's interesting because I probably should have said this, before playing this. But
adversaries and collectibles.
It's interesting because the rumor going around is that there was going to be a Indie Direct this week and then a Nintendo Direct next week. So it looks like it's
Fire launches
I don't know.
first
This
on
whole
Nintendo
this
Switch.
this gives you hope.
It's a timed console
I
exclusive.
think so. I think a lot of people were going to the streaming releases just due to what's going on in the world right now.
Un piccolo team di solo due
That makes sense.
Well, I mean, Nintendo's been doing this since
Felice di
forever.
parlare di Baldo. Da fan dei grandi
Blue Fire, though. Yeah, not familiar with that one. Looks cool. I like a lot of the cell shading nature of things that's coming back.
Cosa che
I thought it was a interesting choice.
volevamo un gioco che fosse
It makes sense because it's not that demanding on
magico, ricco di
the Switch. So I imagine a lot of
complessi da affrontare.
cell shady, artsy kind of
Viaggio
things
che
coming
noi
through.
stessi avremmo voluto affrontare.
Yeah, they fit sort of right at home, but
Speriamo davvero. che Baldo vi possa...
It's funny too, because like even some of the games that they're showing for the next gen stuff, like the little sneak peeks, you're getting like these little cell shaded things.
It reminds me of some of my favorite.
Well, it's just
goodness.
something that holds up, you know.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's got a rich,
Well, absolutely. That's why like
incredible
this
destiny.
is why I tell people all the time, like I don't care about graphics at all.
Exploring this action adventure
Because if, especially like when you look at stuff like this, like it's gonna look fine,
and getting through
you know,
all
in
those
10 years.
dungeons is
Ish.
Oh yeah, it's been proven. You know, Sea of Thieves has
sets them
been
aside.
out for a while, it's aging well just finely. Other games like
Nintendo Switch,
the cell shaded genre do just fine.
Yeah.
Baldo,
This is Shelmerston
another of the cell shaded genre.
Island in the North Atlantic.
Yes, indeed.
Long, strange history.
It was like a little party system for.
I'm Maurice Lupton. I've lived here.
So it seems like a little puzzly kind of game.
I've been curating the story.
Oh, that really made me think of the original Zeldas, the little slashing action there.
Here it is, my museum. But lately,
You make a lot of Zelda references for someone that doesn't play Zelda.
Someone who's seen a lot of Zelda clips on YouTube.
and
Not good enough.
Oh, look at the colors in this one.
Yeah, very pastel.
They're like little anthropomorphic figures.
I am dead.
So
You want to make a?
maybe my inner goth.
Never mind.
But
I was gonna say make a Zelda reference to that island in the background there, but you scumbag.
although
Shelmerston
may
Museum.
not be long for this world.
But unraveling the tiny island's ancient mysteries is going to be what saves it. You know, UK-based
All right.
developer Hollow Ponds and Richard Hogg.
Very simplistic graphics on this
charming
one.
Puzzles.
Yeah.
Can't wait to solve it. I Am Dead launches.
I'm not super into things that
timed
that
exclusive later.
I don't know. It just that doesn't seem like something I'm into at all.
Hi everyone, my name is Heather Bellabo, and I'm the Director of Production at TikTok Games.
Hi there, I'm Melissa. I'm one of the producers and the marketing lead. We're here today to introduce you to our newest title, Bark. Bark is a 2D
chibi animal
side-scrolling
thing.
co-op space shooter where you play as one of 4 ferocious animal astronauts trying to liberate the Earth from crazy robots.
This is a family-focused game that builds a cooperative spirit while
In
still.
other words, we didn't have
We hope you enjoy
modelers.
this title as much as we do.
we could make circles.
In this whimsical side-scrolling shooter from California's TikTok Games, team up with your critter companions to defeat
Bio-interstellar
enemies,
art.
collect coins,
Clever.
upgrade ships,
Yeah.
and take out the bad guys.
Each animal has a distinct style.
Looks a little mobily to me.
Yeah, that was the very first thing I actually was thinking.
Meowvelous fit for family game night.
I feel like they could have did a little bit better.
I'm surprised those developers didn't look Japanesey, because that seemed like something that would come out of Japan or something. Little chibi animals.
Wilson, creator of Cyanide and Happiness, and joining us today,
Cyanide and Happiness.
is Mutant Freak.
hi Chris, thanks for having me.
That's always interesting.
Everybody's wondering, what happened to your face?
Glad you asked. I, like many of my loved ones, was minding my own business when the apocalypse happened, destroying nearly everything and leaving us all horribly mutated.
Well now, that's a heck of a way to start the day.
I'll tell you what,
Buddy, you're losing me.
nothing wakes you up like discovering
What's
you
that?
can now
I
breathe.
said this guy's losing me.
Yeah, he's got the flattest affect I've ever seen.
Outdoors so hard to look at.
Yeah.
Where can the audience see what you've been up to?
Or you can find me in the brand new adventure game,
There you go.
Apocalypse, where you can explore, solve puzzles, and try to survive
I'm sure we'll be all over this.
a terrible world. Keep an eye out for me. I'm the one that's not dead.
I liked
Great, I'll definitely check it out. Now don't
the
go
Cyanide and
anywhere,
Happiness
we'll be right
games
back
and
after
all their stuff on
No,
YouTube
you
is always
won't.
been
Chris?
funny for me at least.
Chris?
Yeah.
While we're waiting for Chris,
Cyanide and Happiness is just
ready
great.
for a world full of weirdness when Cyanide and
Their
Happiness
humor is just spot on.
launches first as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo
Okay.
Switch this
I was
summer.
gonna say I feel like I was surprised I haven't heard of that, but okay, so it's exclusive initially.
Okay.
Presentamos nuestro
Well,
nuevo
I think I have heard of it before.
Es una aventura tropical que cuenta la historia de Koa, una niña que deja su hogar
Well, I mean, it just said
Freakopolis.
it just said exclusive, timed exclusive for the Switch.
sobre
So
el crecimiento y sobre cuidar la
Huh.
naturaleza.
And knowing them, when they mean timed exclusive,
insólitos. En Summoning Mara,
they're gonna release that just a funny
cuidar
moment.
y además un
Yeah.
barco con el que explorar el océano. Con más de 30 islas que descubrir y una
That
aventura
might be a
Always some
game I think
kinda-
I'll pick up.
tendrás mucho que hacer. Relájate.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Nos vemos en Mara.
I always liked the
It
humor
might be
and stuff with
tempting
like
to
that
just
card
kick
game.
back and catch some rays when you hit the
Yeah.
beach in summer in Mara. But the ocean
Dora the Explorer.
fulfill your mysteries await.
That's like what this is.
Gigantic rock thing right there on your island.
Make friends, farm, explore, and craft.
Explora.
Those adventure on
There's
Explorer.
just like let it slip.
events and a day-night cycle.
And contrary to
She's got a Koopa shell on her back. I knew it. It's Mario.
until summer to play this game.
Crossover.
Oh, the Mario knockoffs.
Mario.
Switch as a timed console exclusive this spring.
Which means players
Huh.
on Nintendo Switch will be the first.
The art style for the
Oh, okay, there it is. That's why. That's
and
why.
backpack.
It's a timed exclusive bonus.
Hi, my name is Balthazar Roger from Nimble Giant. Game development
oh
studio
no.
in Buenos Aires.
That turtle shell like definitely seemed like one of those
Quantum League is a
backpacks you see certain people in high school used to wear.
Oh yeah. Well, that's I think the character angle. I mean, that's definitely not my type of game, but you know. there you go.
No, not at all.
I mean, half these things usually aren't.
change
But-
the outcome of a round.
You know,
each time it
you
will
never know.
I feel like indie games are like sifting through and looking for gems.
with a highly
You're not gonna quite
We sincerely
have
hope you
any
enjoy
all of them be
Quantum
good ones, but you know,
This online
maybe a couple of the ones out here I think will be good. Like the Cyanide and Happiness one, pretty excited for because I love their humor.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Possibilities are positively mind.
That ninja one seemed
Check this out.
interesting.
Each
The
consecutive
blue
round of
fire,
match, you're
blue
joined
flame,
by
or whatever one it was.
clones.
Eh.
That was pretty cool.
I will probably never look at it.
I'm a selective indie game player.
I'm just a selective game player in general.
Only the best of indie games can come to me.
Quantum League Time Warps onto Nintendo Switch in late 2020.
Quantum League.
こんにちは。ホワイトアウト
First person shooter, we need more of those. That's good.
日本の
Yeah.
世界中の皆さんに向けてゲームを開発
Graphics seem interesting.
That guy's just holding a monkey.
現在開発中のザ・グッドライフが任天堂スイッチで発売されることを正式に発表させていただきますザ・グッドライフはイギリスの
Seems
を舞台にした借金返済 RPG です
Hey, the
It's
good life.
okay.
世界一幸福な
Oh
街
wait, never mind.
レイニーウッズでもこの
I was
街
thinking of something else.
秘密が隠されていました夜になると人々は
If there's no monkey in this game that he's about to talk about, I'm gonna be like, what the
He would
fuck?
laugh so hard if he just like throws it over his shoulder.
20年発売期待してお待ちください
It's just his what do they call those dogs that you bring in? Those
Skills and canine prowess to pay off and solve a murder along.
dude, I can't think today.
These are no
Emotional. It's like his emotional animal.
Your forms has special
Emotional support monkey.
Yeah.
and there's no
I
way
catch a lot of flack for taking us to the airports, but I don't care.
transportation is right.
Yeah.
Enjoy the bizarre charm of Rainy Woods when The Good Life launches on Nintendo Switch.
Huh, he's really into this monkey, so it has to be something relevant. I hope.
And we're here
Yeah.
It's a cat.
in the UK
Oh no, wait.
to show you a little of a game we're working on called The Last Campfire.
I don't know.
On The Last Campfire.
I see some of this stuff like that last thing we just saw, The Good Life, and I just think, do we have to release every indie game on the Switch? I mean, like, we're starting to become Steam here.
And finding hope. We really hope you like it.
Yeah, Steam, you can catch a lot of different stuff. I think, Steam is definitely one of those things where you can catch, like, a lot of garbage. You have to really rely on user reviews to, kind of find anything good. Because you're really taking a gamble by just finding a game that kind of looks interesting and buying it.
Space and time in flight.
I think I remember a trailer for this that had some dope-ass music.
Being still and
I'm a little disappointed in myself for saying dope.
Dope.
She's
It's a
dope.
gateway drug.
Yeah.
by a drop because
Definitely, a lot of the artistic styles are seeming to, like, meld into one one game.
Yeah. Sometimes,
Relying-
especially with indies.
Yeah, relying very heavy on the
could it be
particular art style. It's okay. It just a little bit of variety can
Ugh.
help.
So he brings shit back to life. And then kills it again. He is the double murderer.
as sad
Hit you in the feels with the music, though.
Hello Games, known for the vast galactic
Some of the mechanics are
sky, delivers an
a little interesting,
intimate adventure with this new game.
I just like the fact that he looks like a sock,
Moving tale about
or like someone who just found a sock and just was like, "All right, I'm wearing."
for Nintendo Switch this summer. If you're a fan of games with immersive techno beats and sleek, stylistic visuals, multimedia artists Bayon and Kyoto-based Q Games have got you covered.
In Pixel Junk Eden 2, stages generate in real time based on your actions as you guide an inquisitive little creature called a Grimp on a journey to save its fellow Grimps and restore their gardens.
Each choice from which Grimp you control,
Nope.
how you
Again, it just kind of feels mobile.
gives rise to a distinct sensory experience.
Enjoy this wonderland alone or with a friend via local multiplayer when Pixel Junk Eden 2 launches on Nintendo Switch this summer. Every good strategy game has its share of risks and rewards.
So enter the world of Faria at your own risk.
Because the
a card game.
that Belgian developer Abercam's card game truly comes to life.
And really puts your strategic skills to the test as you craft not only your decks, but also the
That's
terrain
cool, I
of
guess.
the battlefield itself.
There are lots of ways to unlock cards in this game. Progress through the sizable solo campaign, for example, or play draft mode or even PvP battles.
Plus, there are online co-op missions and some puzzles on the side too.
The Nintendo Switch version of Faria comes with 4 free cosmetic packs available to download for free for a limited time when the game launches later this spring. And after that,
I'm just so far removed from all this indie shit because I've like never heard of any. I mean, I guess half of these are like
It's dark. It's tough to
new
master.
things anyway.
But hey, that's all part of the fun.
Indeed. Slaying gods is no simple task, but hey, the bragging rights? Legendary.
In this brutal boss rush battler, timing and precision are paramount.
Those tile-based games
You guys are going to want to pay attention to your
Yeah.
too, because combat custom
kind of remind me of
talents and abilities
Con or board games that they
Be
decided
among
to
the
convert
first
into.
to take up the challenge.
Yeah.
When Elder
video game
Scrolls
setup.
launches as a timed console exclusive on Nintendo Switch this summer.
All right,
Elder
everybody, so
Souls.
Almost out of time today,
I
but
think it was Eldest.
Oh man, that's just
a few more indie games that are being worked on by
getting a little too close there name-wise.
Yeah, dodging that copyright.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Blair Witch. Oh, this came out. This came out a little bit ago on other play. Is this really indie?
I don't think it was.
Goes to the
I-
tail. That kind of looks neat. Meh.
A lot of these are hit or miss.
Yeah, indie. It's expected. That just looks just. I mean, I'm sure some people. I guess shmups, but that one's starting to look samey.
I like the last one with the animals, how they looked.
Yeah, at least it was
the
like
one
a
with the rats,
smidge
which I
different.
thought was
Yeah.
At least it was so shady, but it was still a little bit different. I liked that one.
It's like a bird. This is like a weird strategy, like mix up. It's kind of cool.
I've heard of that other one, Superliminal. That one was a Steam game, I think. I've seen people play it before.
Yeah. Wow. Kind of neat. It looks like it combines a lot of different things.
Well, everybody, it was a pleasure.
And it's still
Is that it?
because
Oh.
we have one more thing to share.
Really? Has it been like 20 minutes already? Holy shit. And the fastest thing ever.
Yeah, it kind of flew by. So there's a couple of them in there that seem interesting. Some of them.
Hold up.
Yet the gungeon remains.
It's a Gungeon game. It's
one
a
of the,
sequel.
like, the bullet hell games. Gungeon, I heard good reviews.
Yeah, everyone seems to love. I actually never played it. I hear really great things. It's just, if I'm being honest, it's just not my
Not your cup
type
of
of
tea
game.
game.
Yeah.
But, Gungeon, they're fun to a certain extent. highly overstimulated.
Yeah, a lot of visual diarrhea for sure.
What do you think about all those indie games that have been covered?
Wait, so which ones?
8-bit games, like the
Oh.
digitized ones.
Exit the Gungeon. Oh, that's funny.
You dared to enter the gun. Be prepared to exit.
I'm okay with it. Like, it really depends. Like, I kind of I think initially it makes you scoff because it's like you don't mind the retro, but then like going back 8-bit kind of makes you just go like we don't have to go that far. But at the same time, I mean, like a game like Celeste, that's like one of the better platformers I've ever played, and
console exclusive.
Oh, there you go.
I think so.
Shadow drop. Bam, for those that like the Enter the Gungeon stuff.
It's over. For real this time.
Huh.
On behalf of Nintendo,
That felt really fast.
World community and all the developers out
like,
there that are just
I think it was like 19 minutes or something. That felt like that was like 4 minutes.
play them on Nintendo.
And thanks to all of you.
Time flies.
Yeah. Time flies when everything looks like one announcement.
Exactly. It's all meshed into like
Indie World.
one thing.
Yeah.
Indie World.
Okay, I mean,
there was a few. There was a few in there that I thought were interesting.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple things that look. I mean, I never have. I'll be honest. I never have extremely high expectations from indie events, but it's you said it and then I said it. It's like like everything just sort of starts to look samey after a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard. It's hard for me to get into a lot of this, but to kind of go back to your question though, because I think it's a good question. I think it's a symptom that I feel like far too often when I talk to certain people that you kind of tell them about or talk about this either 8-bit or 16-bit game, and they just sort of like scoff and write it off instantly. But like, I feel like it sucks because I feel like so many people are missing out on some really good things. But
yeah, a lot of them are pretty good. Some of them are even fantastic. It's just I feel like it used the 8-bit and stuff like that used to be cool, and it was kind of like a retro chic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But as more of them keep pouring out, what used to become cool and novel has now become I don't know. I think it's losing its kind of interest factor, and I think those games actually have to be really good now. They can't rely too much on that graphical styling anymore just to pull in people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because like a lot of times they are so good, but at the same time, I do kind of understand it because for the same thing, like you were just asking me, like, what do I think about it? And to be honest, a lot of times I am kind of put off by it, and that's so like I think it's just a nature of that whole like going back's fine, but I am kind of like you do sort of want to see at least something new or unique, and oftentimes these retro throwbacks or more just sort of flying in the face or just like kind of pushing the fact like, oh no, it's retro, like that is its thing. It's like, yeah, but everything kind of is.
Yeah, and like I don't know, this is indie games, and I know indie developers, they seem to be like pushing that pastel shaded stuff and that kind of 8-bit stuff, but I feel like it's not giving credit to indie developers. Like we talked a long time ago about like Hellblade, and that came from like an indie developer, and that game the original game looked really good. So
yeah,
I feel like indie developers they can create much better content.
But at the same time, well, I agree. And there's a couple of those in there that we even said, wow, that's an indie. Like when they did those brief run throughs, which kind of felt weird that they'd spend no time on those like really upscale looking ones. But then, I mean, Blair Witch, I was like, I still think like, is that considered an indie game or whatever? But
yeah, I didn't know. I have to look at the developer for that one because I swear that was more of a mainstream game. I have to remember who pulled that one out.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I forget. Maybe it's just something that's short. But I also think that there's like, there's all these, there's going to be a ton of trade-offs, right? Like a game like Hellblade, not to be completely controversial all the time, but a game like Hellblade is, it looks fantastic. It looks like has the looks and visuals of a AAA game. But I would argue that the game itself is not super duper fun. I mean, it's okay. It's more of like a visual and audio experience. Yeah. And but like, I'm not gonna like shit on the developer at all, because in to be fair, like there are, like a few developers that are working on something that, like, of course they're not going to have the same time to get every aspect 100% polished and perfect. So on the visual front, like, yeah, it's definitely, but you are trading off, especially from an indie developer, you're trading off those game mechanics and game length and all those other intricacies, where these 8-bit games, you can kind of get more out of them, and you can get much greater, more expansive worlds into them, because they don't take a whole lot of time to develop on the actual.
You're right with, I think,
front.
these indie developers, they have, they can only dedicate so much staff to any given part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, they could really, if they're going full bore into the looks of the game, obviously mechanically and content-wise, this could be sacrificed. But with the second Hellblade coming out, I'm interested with them doing well at the first one, how they were able to advance on that. But I'm interested, like, it just goes to show you, if an indie game becomes popular enough or does well enough, they can springboard into pretty decent success, a sequel with maybe a bigger studio. You never know. So,
well,
indie games, they...
I was gonna say, and sometimes, like, I mean, like, like, just beyond focusing on the visuals too, and but beyond, any visuals for that matter. But like, look at a game like Cuphead. That was completely indie, and massively successful. I would probably say more so than something like Hellblade. But and then Hellblade 2, of course, now has Microsoft owns them and is funding it. I'm sure it's going to be even more expansive, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, I think indie develop that's the thing, and that's the reason why it's kind of bringing that conversation back full circle here, is like, that's why it's a little disheartening whenever people write off the 16-bit or whatever type games, because the truth of the matter is, like, sometimes the content is so good. Like, play a game like and I'm like naming Switch shit, of course, because, well, to be fair, like,
Celeste
that's how I
would be a good one.
Well, yeah, but to be
Celeste
fair, like,
one.
Nintendo is like sort of like most of the way I play indies is through that, just because it's easier. But yeah, like, Celeste is amazing. It's an amazing game. Golf Story is incredible, and then also things like Hollow Knight, of course, Dead Cells, and then even like a game like
Blasphemous.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Blasphemous, look it up. It's more of the I'd say not quite 8-bit, but it's like but it's definitely older looking. But it's not another one of those games where, if you look at it originally, it looks very aged. But
yeah,
you're right. There's a lot of these games where, especially the indie games, it's definitely not a book by its cover kind of situation. So you really do have to try to find a demo, or because most of them rely heavily on their mechanics. The mechanics drive a lot of these games.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's the content and it's the mechanics of the thing. So, like, if a game has great content and it has great mechanics, then who gives a shit about the rest of it? Like, that it's within reason, I guess. But 8-bit and 16-bit, like, I think another reason you see that so much is because, we sort of talked about this in a podcast that's coming up here, but like, the SNES and the NES days, they don't suffer that sort of the same visual loss that the NES and SNES, or I'm sorry, the PS1 and like N64 era, like the 3D model graphics. So like, you can still get away with today; those visuals still look crisp. So it works, but yeah, I do see why people are turned off, but at the same time, sometimes you just got to take a risk and give it a go. Blossom Tales, that's another one I was going to say. It's another like 8-bit-ish type game. It's a Zelda-like game. It's awesome. They did a great job with it. I thought there was a nice little foyer into some of the indie games coming out. There's a couple of them in there. Actually, to be honest, the one I was interested in the most was probably the Cyanide and Happiness one, because I think that I love the humor of that, and I think that'll be a really fun one. I think party games are super good too. There's sort of already a brand loyalty to the Cyanide and Happiness. Like, we're pretty sure that one's going to be at least somewhat quality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, the nice thing, like, it went pretty fast, which I thought was good. It also, like, it wasn't an overabundance of games, which is also good. They didn't throw too much at you. There was, like, you can almost remember everything, but with the exception of the samey looking shit.
Yeah.
But that's you know what? Like I am disappointed. Like the one major thing I wish we would have got was just a Golf Story 2 date, and nope, not even close. I never win. I shouldn't have said it. It's because I said it.
Yeah, I know. They knew it. They knew it was like,
Yep.
yep.
It was actually in the live. It was in the live stream earlier today, but they took it out of the edit. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, I mean, there you go. It's our first live reaction Indie World. It wasn't too substantial, But hey, if there's a direct next week, that's going to be intense because
be a lot of content for that.
Well, it's been a long time since we've gotten a direct, so at that point, they've got some pretty big shoes to fill, and I'm either going to be incredibly disappointed or poop my pants. It's gonna be one.
I'm hoping for the disappointment because this list, you'd be like, but fuck.
Well, you're not gonna. Yeah, no. So we'll see. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that actually happens next week. But we'll see. Yeah, but thanks for checking it out, and let us know what you thought and all that good shit. If you want to learn more about us, you can go to our website at couchplaycousins.com. You can follow us on Twitter at couch_cousins and Facebook at couchplaycousins. And until the next time, cheers.
Later, guys.